Sometimes, in order to move forward, you gotta look back. People are always asking me how the heck I do all this all by myself. Fact of the matter is, without the help from a lot of folks, these projects just wouldn't happen. My friend Tom and I have done a bunch of projects together, and whenever I need some help, he's on my short list. So I don't recognize this truck shell. Is it Dodge?
Nope, International.
Oh, wow. This time was a little different. Tom called me over to his friend Hot Rod Bob's place for a project of his own. Oh man, what's up with the back wall?
There should be a window here.
You ain't kidding.
Right, but it was apparent. It looked like it had been in a wreck. There was a pretty big dent, and the sheet metal was wavy, so it had to go.
Well, I mean, it's definitely unique, the fact that it's an International for sure, but is there like a thing with this? Family heirloom? Or?
Well, there is. I've wanted an International, and when I was looking for a hot rod project, I went back and forth, Chevy, Ford. I kept coming up to International. Well, I struck a deal with my neighbor to get the International, but once we got it home and Bob and I took a look at it, it was really obvious how rough it was and how long it had been sitting.
We started on the cab, and it's got a great style to it, but we kind of gave up on it.
I know it. It's not the prettiest looking thing to look at, but I see the potential in it. I'm really hoping that Ian does too.
See, Tom's got a lot of passion, especially for this vehicle, and this truck's got major issues. Now, class, there are a number of things wrong with the back of this truck. So right here, you can see it's out right here. And that's a lot, right? And then on this side is the exact opposite, so you got the roller coaster effect. If I was to follow this line with the sheet metal, this is what it'd be doing. It's like way the heck out of shape. Not really sure if Tom knows how far gone this truck is. So the good news is I got a plan, but the not so great news is that instead of just putting this wall in and fixing the window, we kind of got to rehab the back third of the truck. There was numerous impacts. Instead of just putting in a window, let's just fix the whole back of the truck. It's gonna be way better for it. We'll clean all this crud out of here and we'll make it nice. It's never too late to shop it. That's the whole idea here, you know what I'm saying? So once I start working my influence and my hypnotizing ways. How many fingers am I holding up, right? You're going left, you're going right.
No child.
Going down a hall, you're turning left, you're turning right. Tom is a pretty sentimental cat. He and I worked on some projects he wasn't so attached to, but when he picks it for his own, things get complicated. When you're dealing with someone's prized possession, their passion, the last thing they want to see you do is go at it with a frickin' knife. It's like they're thinking, oh, good times. No, that's later on. Right now it's war. It's like visiting the dentist. Don't be nervous.
Oh, man. It's very hard to watch. Was I expecting him to cut out the whole back of my cab? No.
Once we got that back wall in place, I knew that this back window had some issues. Look at this arch here, and look at this. Tell me it doesn't look like it's out of shape completely.
It's a little over 9 inches, about 9 3/8 right there. And then we come here, we're almost to 10.
That's what I'm seeing. It's whacked out.
I'm really hoping that Ian can pull some tricks out of his hat to make this thing better.
The good news is we can fix that thing. I got a plan.
You got a plan?
Yeah. About to get medieval on this.
Yeah. Is this one of the tricks that he has in his hat? I don't know, but I mean, it looks like something that came out of a barbecue. It doesn't look like a good idea.
It looks pretty rough.
Are you sure this is gonna work? What do you mean? Dude, you roasted my window.
This is a pretty unique shape we're dealing with here. So the next step is to make a little dolly tool that we can hammer the thing back into shape with. Red on that side?
Yes, red.
Hi-ya! Dink. Looks pretty darn close, eh? The idea here is when you're away from your shop, you know, sometimes you gotta improvise. You see that dent anywhere?
Yeah, man, it's
Dent
gone.
disappeared.
Man, it was a totally unorthodox way of going about it, but it worked. Ian managed to straighten out this window frame. Wow, man, you did it. Look at that.
Done, done. I was really excited with the result that we got from this because this was a pretty rough project. And in the end, it worked out. Tom got exactly what he wanted. That's the biggest satisfaction for me, just helping a brother out. You know, hanging out with friends, spinning the cars around the dirt, that's what it's all about. Good, wholesome fun. No conversation about my friends would be complete without Victor. Seems like we've been working together forever, and he's always pushing the realms of what I can accomplish. After a bunch of custom car builds, he had this wild idea to take things in a new direction.
This is the flavor, man. That's something that you were meant to build your entire life.
But of course, it wasn't that simple. Here he is, Mr. Sports Car.
Man, this thing drives so good. I mean, really good.
Are you saying we're gonna do this instead of that, or what?
No.
So you bought two cars and you don't want either of them. You can try
Yes.
to make something you do
I don't want a Porsche, and I don't want a Sterling Volkswagen.
I see the potential in both of these. I mean, there's good and bad in each of them. You know, it's just like, I thought we were building a piece of junky car there, and then you show up with this thing, so I'm a little confused.
Okay, I'm confused too, but our goal is to put this car on this car and take this car apart and build ourselves a supercar that doesn't exist.
What I came to understand and eventually did was cut the entire body off the Porsche, saved only the roof from the Sterling, and then sculpted an entire new car body that we could eventually make a fiberglass mold off of. This is a perfect example of what it's like going down the rabbit hole with Victor.
We need to do some kind of crazy exhaust, right? I was thinking something kind of massive here in the middle, 3 or 4 muffler pipes sticking out of the back. Hey, I had a dream, you know? My initial idea in my mind was to see this massive car go by. You're like, what the heck was it? And all you see is this big old pipe with some fins coming out almost like a bomb. All the supercars got the fins on the bottom. Well, hey, guess what? I want the fins on the top and I want the fins on the side. Almost like a propeller to a boat, but straight.
Okay. If you haven't figured it out yet, Victor likes to throw out crazy ideas and just see what happens. Let's just make like a cardboard mock-up, come up with some kind of
let's do
concept.
it.
So something more like this or this diameter, like way big.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at. Remember, massive.
Let's just tape them on the car, see kind of what we got
All right,
proportion-wise. Well, stand back and look at that. I mean, 5-inch exhaust is pretty substantial.
I was thinking of having a fin, and a fin, but I only need the fins on top, on the bottom, and the 2 on the side. And then put fins on the bottom. Yeah, exactly, a fin, okay.
As loose as this is my favorite way to work. You know, just mock something up, stand back, take a look at it, adjust as needed.
Ian, I feel like I'm in arts and crafts. I failed arts and craft in school. And you know what, as I'm looking at it, maybe 2 will do it. Check it out, stand back, see what you think.
I kind of like 3. Shop inspector's checking it out as well. I think he's gonna have the final word.
Dude, what do you think? Cool? All right, I guess he said that's cool. He wants
3's
3.
the number. 3's the number. I think it's gonna stick. Shop inspector made the call, so it was time to move forward. I made the exhaust out of aluminum, some minor modifications from our tape mock-up, and made it fit the car. Oh yeah, that's totally cool. That was just one part of the project. The front end was next, and that had challenges of its own. Working on this sports car with Victor was quite an adventure. His ideas just kept coming out of left field.
Check this out. You know, Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Well, I bought a new TV.
When I explained to Victor that we can incorporate anything into the design of this car, he takes it to heart. And I think he's trying to push the boundaries a bit.
So here's the grill, literally. Check this out. I mean, I seen it and that's where I got it. Check it out. There's the grill right there.
He's walking in the door with a pile of styrofoam. He says he bought a big screen television for the big game on Sunday. And for whatever reason, he's looking at these foam packing parts and it looks like the grill to a supercar to him.
Ian's looking at it like, you know, scratching his head like this dude's out of it.
Starting to get a little bit loose, man. You're throwing everything at this. First the TV, next the kitchen sink.
What do you think?
As Victor's giving me a sales pitch, I'm starting to respond a bit. I mean, yeah, it does have an interesting look. You put them together, it makes like a V shape that could be a grill. You can shape foam really easily. Okay, I think we can work with this. I see what you're saying. Look at this vent you get in here.
You know, my job is to like give the basic concept and idea. Ian's job is to make it work and make it look good, because some of the stuff I come up with could be, you know, looked at kind of interesting, to say the least.
You're not down with using the TV packing for the sports car? The inspector had his reservations, but I felt like we were onto something. There's only one way to find out. Always thinking ahead on how we're gonna wrap the entire project together. By building this front grille out of aluminum, it ties in with the rear exhaust fin thing I created, so I think the aluminum will be a design aspect through the entire project. Metalwork is kind of the realm I thrive in, and to do something really, artistic is more like jewelry than just car body fabrication, so it's a nice change of pace. In the end, if you want to polish it, that would be the next step, but right now I've maintained that nice defined ridge all the way through. Look at that thing. I finished up the grill, and you could see how Victor's wild ideas translated into the finished piece. This project was something I would have never accomplished on my own, so having Victor kind of lead me through this was super satisfying.
I never knew what the car would look like. Just looking back on the amount of design work and the amount of effort in Ian's part, that he finally realized what he achieved. I mean, this was a task that not many people could pull off.
Yes.
And he did it.
This project set the bar pretty high, but knowing Victor, he's just thinking it's about here. So who knows what the heck he's thinking of next. This was a big leap, and I know he's always going bigger. I've got a bucket list of my own, and that's one thing about all the projects I've done so far is they're slowly ticking off. This beach buggy project was definitely something I always wanted to see. Maybe that's why I've been so fascinated with it, because it's stuff that I never saw it happen before me. I just happen to have a perfect donor car for my next crazy idea. Victor wasn't interested in the mechanical aspect of this car at all, so I got it running and took it for a test drive. I know Volkswagens, they're not super fast. This car really had something going. I don't know if the engine's been built up or what, but this car moved out really good. I knew it was a strong runner, and I saved the whole chassis. Victor's usually the guy pitching me the wild ideas, but this time the tables had turned. See, I'm always checking out your stashes, man, and this little fiberglass treasure trove got me thinking. Victor is a man of many facets. One of his many facets is a lot of yards with a lot of treasure. And he's got this Model T kit car body. Picture this. The Sterling, the old Sterling chassis, it's become a hot rod. It's morphed from the glorious opening roof project to an off-road sand buggy hot rod T-bucket project. Usually when you pitch Victor an idea, he gets excited and he's like, yeah, we could do anything. And this time he's starting to draw a blank. I just see a lot of the side-to-side motion.
You just finished the Supercar. Now you're gonna do a Dune buggy with this, whatever you wanna call it.
This T-bucket body is exactly what I need.
Go for it, man. I was gonna throw it away anyway. You don't even need help carrying it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Ultra light, man. It's perfect. I dug through my own part stash. I got a lot of stuff. The main thing was I wanted something that looked and felt just like it would have back in the day, a vintage dune buggy. Model A tie rod and components. Model A front spring. Model A hubs and spindles. You can smell it, it's very old, don't you think? He's disinterested. It's just, dune buggies don't get the passion they deserve. Look at this. He's on Victor's team. I guess it's hard to give the sales pitch and find any buyers, it seems. You're supposed to be supportive, man. That's what a relationship's about. It's giving me the silent treatment. Being that this was gonna be used exclusively in the sand, I wanted to build an articulating front suspension. You know, something that looked very rudimentary, very hand-built, would have been done back in the day, and actually performed. So the idea here, and you see guys with Jeeps doing this all the time. So you got articulation in the suspension, but the two back tires are still planted flat. After I got the suspension dialed in, you know, it felt old school. So I wanted to do something with the paint that was kind of mellow, but also kind of spectacular. The mellow, spectacular dichotomy. It's a delicate balance. Once I got it finished up, I took it to the vintage dune buggy event at Pismo Beach, and it ran great. Bopping around in the sand dunes, you know, you're not out there winning no races. It's not the ultimate performance vehicle, but it sure is a heck of a good time. Another childhood dream crossed off the list. You know, I met up with Court and showed him what I had accomplished. I saw his car years ago and was so inspired by it. That was the basis for me for creating this pan buggy in that style.
You did a fantastic job. Adding the body to it just makes this so unique. It just has this unique, complete retro vibe with this kind of hot rod thing thrown on it. Can you tell me just a little bit about this paint? Because it looks, at first you think it's been out in the sand.
Right.
Right?
That was the idea. Court was really responding to the paint job. You know, I had my idea of what it was gonna look like, but him coming in, you know, fresh to it, he's like, this almost looks like the sparkling sands of a beach. It's like a white flake, and then I used a gold flake. So when you're looking at it, it looks like the beach.
It does, it does, it totally does.
Court introduced me to Bruce Myers, the creator of the iconic Myers-Manx dune buggy. You know, we got to talking, and he was feeling the same vibes that I was, and he really appreciated the buggy that I built. My opinion, this is what it's all about. I'm ready to build something else and get back out to the sand dunes. My friend Bill is a big-time truck guy, and he's always got some kind of project going on.
I've been trying to sell it and not really had any luck. I love it a lot. Nobody else seems to think it's that cool.
This truck needed a major cosmetic upgrade. Bill didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, so he had to get creative. You've got so much potential here, you know. There's stuff all over the place, so I think we can use a lot of the stuff you got.
That's a good idea.
Clean up the yard, the wife will be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be one truck less in the driveway,
That'll be
guaranteed. So I went on the search, and the unique thing about Bill is he's got stuff. Everybody's got their stuff, but he's got unique stuff. Nothing starts a good project like a good treasure hunt.
When I collected all this stuff, you know, I thought, oh, well, I can use this for that, or pretty specific about it. Well, Ian, I mean, he's different. And I don't even ask him what he's gonna do. Don't wanna know what he's gonna do. Just wanna watch.
Oh, you got bigger sheets under here. Nice little mouse nest, look at this. Like a diamond in the rough. So I remember this thing. This is the same year as what we're working on now, right?
Yep.
It's a little dinged right there, but at least it's a bumper. We could start with that if we need it. What's going on in here?
You want an
Oh,
inline six-cylinder with the...
It's the rare factory 50 pine cone option. Look at that. I know this rack here, and I know you got some stuff. Mainly what I'm interested in is these long lengths. Any project's gonna need some structure, so this is heavy truck stuff. If you're not married to them, I can use them.
All this stuff is available.
Picked out a few things and headed back to the shop to see what I could put together. I did yank that bumper off the other truck, and I also got some good rusty steel, all that I could find. That front grille, just like the rear end, is just way overkill. I'd really like to show off the international styling instead of this big, angry-looking death bumper. Watch the paint. The stock height on that truck, the frames were right here, which is cool, it makes sense, but I'd like to see it a little bit lower. The whole idea here is to make the truck appear closer to the ground. This international bumper could work with some modifications, but I just want to explore the other options, maybe just do something a little more full custom. What if I took this and just turned it? You can't just slap a tube on the front of a truck and call it a bumper. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna just stop here. Make that angle like that. This is the process of trial and error. You just keep cutting and bending until the angle's right. It's looking good to me, sir. It's exactly what it needed. It's subtle, but it helps. Get the end caps on and it really finishes it off. For right now, it's conservative. You can see that's a clean bumper. Took another trip up to Bill's to see what other options I could find for the back half. Oh, and look at these things. What are these tube frames?
Shopping cart storage.
Oh, of course, okay, I get it right. They pull in here.
Yep.
But look at this length and the turn down, that's like a truck bed side, right?
Ian is a metal man and an artist, and he looks for shapes, but shopping cart corrals?
That's the cool thing about Bill. Even though he may not understand exactly what I'm thinking about with wanting to use these parts, he's open to it. A lot of clients wouldn't be so gung-ho about my grandiose ideas. This truck is heavy duty, so I had my friend Dominic come in to give me a hand.
It's a shopping cart corral. Like, how is that even gonna work on a tow truck?
He wasn't so easily convinced as Bill. So that's the back of the cab. Where's the back of the truck frame?
Oh, that's perfect. All right.
There's a method to the madness.
Yeah, all right.
Took a little explaining to really get the point across of my glorious shopping cart envisioning. This round really looks good with the roundness of the truck, but then we'll take that square tube and we'll make that an element for all the trimmings right from the front to the back.
Same as the front bumper.
Yeah, I think we'll just cover that. We finished up the sides and added a tailgate. Then it was time to show Bill the truck. Old Red is all wrapped up. This project's a bit different than my other ones simply because I didn't know what I had to do here. It would be way easy to go off the rails like I typically do, but fortunately I was able to keep it in check. I drove it over here to Bill's, and if there's one thing that Bill loves, it's old international trucks.
Wow, Ian, you've arrived.
Got a little change. Looking a little different than it did last time.
Woo! Yeah, another miracle.
Old Red, at your service.
I saw Ian rolling in with that thing, and my first reaction was, now that's cool. The bumper, oh my gosh. The little sun visor, the tailgate, he redid the whole back of the truck, and the stance, he lowered the front. I mean, all of it was like, that's it, Ian, you did it.
Out of the scrap pile and back on the road. Another successful transformation. I love a venture into the unknown, and it was exactly that what my friend Ken called. All I knew was that he's a total train fanatic, and he volunteers at this museum and needed some help.
What do you think?
This is the iconic classic Ford pickup truck, model AA, the bigger truck, and why it's in a train museum is beyond me.
We want to make this a train. We want to make this a rail truck. We want to put it on the tracks.
I thrive off of new challenges, and I've never built a rail truck. It's a pretty major task, you know, to put a truck on the tracks. You know, it's very clear that that axle doesn't fit. So just like you back half a race car, you cut the back of the chassis off.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do the same thing with this. As if you were tubbing a car, we're gonna narrow the frame rails and do major surgery on the axle.
I was really, really pleased that he didn't flinch. He didn't do this. We didn't know what we were going to get from me when we showed it to him because he wasn't really prepped all the way. It just pulled him, and I was so happy to see that.
Because I knew nothing about building a rail truck, I just went back to home base. I narrowed the rear of the truck, rebraced it, and put it all back together. Meanwhile, Ken dug up a picture that really showed the concept of where they were going with this project.
This is from the State Railroad Museum. There's the truck, buddy. Is that cool?
That is freaking cool.
And you've
Whoa,
already done.
Look at that. That's nuts.
You've already done this. I mean, you've already brought it in.
In recreating this antique rail truck, the biggest challenge was the aesthetic part of this front cow catcher. Ken said that the museum had a huge part stash, so I set off to find the things to make this happen. Not only does the stuff have to fit the look, you know, it has to function, it has to feel like it's old and crusty. I mean, it takes a trained eye to really spot what you need. I'll grab some of the smaller stock. This is like shoe shopping, you know? What style looks the best, what style fits. This is exactly what's on the drawing. This matches the turnbuckles, this diameter. I'd call that a successful outing. I gotta make this cow catcher catch cows. This is our canvas. So obviously, according to the picture, these things aren't straight. They're pitched forward in a V formation, ready to catch cows. So we gotta make these look like that. First step, set up the acetylene torch. Pow! A nice hot stick. Put it right there and give it a bend. This is old school metalwork, you know. It takes fire to bend metal. That's what I'm talking about. Full custom blacksmith. This cow catcher's really taking shape, you know. It may be the best cow catcher I've ever made. I got one more idea that'll really sell it. This thing is looking cool, just like it would have been on the rail line back in the day. In the end, Ken and his crew got what they were looking for. The big takeaway from me was the passion, you know, the camaraderie. There was a lot of people pitching in. They all made this happen. A little fun, a little building, a lot of learning, and in the end, we get a really cool project. Another one of my longtime collaborators is Johnny Jalopy. Johnny is an envisioning marvel. He draws a lot of cartoons that work exactly the way my brain does, you know? When I see something, it's in cartoon proportions. That was my real interest in him. He lays it down on paper. I was itching to build another crazy show car, so I gave him a call and pitched him my idea.
Okay. Yikes.
It looks like this, but what it is isn't what it appears. Just like the Ed Roth cars, if you look at any of his cars, it's basically just a big fiberglass sculpture on tires.
Right.
Same thing here.
With a lot of cool stuff.
A lot of cool stuff. One of my heroes in car building is, of course, Ed Roth. His vehicles were made primarily out of fiberglass. Even though they were vehicles, they were all sculptures in their own right, and I used that as kind of the beacon, or rather the excuse for what I do.
Colors, graphics,
Yes.
stands,
Yes.
wheels.
Yes, I need that. The advantage to fiberglass in this situation is we'll be able to set up a mock-up really quick. If we don't like it, it's quick and easy to modify.
I'm ready to do this. Let's, I say, let me get my stuff out and throw down a couple drawings, and then we'll go from there.
Johnny's talent is really taking all of this, you know, potential that's in the ether, taking all the discussion and putting it on paper.
The hard part is, usually I do like a bunch of warm-up drawings, but immediately I'm like kind of like on the spot, like, hey, let's get this going. Like, you gotta draw a car now. So that part's sometimes can be a little challenging. And I just think, okay, just let go and just try to come up with something kind of crazy. Too tame.
I gave Johnny some time to do his thing. You know, he doesn't need me looking over his shoulder, you know, like a manager.
One of the things that Ian made pretty clear about this particular build is we're gonna keep it fiberglass. It's a nod back to the godfather of customization, Ed Roth.
Focus.
What about a van thing?
That takes this, and it's like, it's still a utility, but it's a panel truck.
Right.
And I get my roof.
And your porthole.
And the porthole. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, the board meeting's over here.
Yeah,
This
over
side.
here.
Come on, check this
What
out.
do you think? Oh, maybe he's afraid you're gonna use his dog dish again.
Could be a doghouse.
Yeah, the doghouse. It's the doghouse. Yeah, look, there's a spot for you. Okay.
I think we got the green light on this project. Step one is always the parts search, you know, finding the right stuff to get the project started. So this is my friend Bill's back 40. I've got a lot of treasure from this location. We're not here for the Ranchero. We're here for this camper shell, which is kind of unique, you know? It's like a pickup truck shell, but it's for the smaller Ranchero, and it's in worse condition than I thought.
And I'm going, please tell me this isn't your thought of what we're gonna use.
But I mean, in proportion to the Dune buggy, it just might work.
I mean, I think this would definitely be pushing your talents, man.
You know, my friend Victor said, you take doo-doo and turn it into diamonds.
You got, well, there's a doo-doo start for you. But I agree with you. I've seen you do crazy stuff. I've seen you take worse.
Bill and I have the same views on recycling. I always need a lot of parts. He always needs to get rid of a lot of junk. We have a great relationship. You know, we're doing this Dune buggy project, sort of like this body line in that it's a sedan delivery, like the other Ranchero I did for you. So we're thinking this camper shell.
I have another one.
So you have two that you didn't throw out.
Oh, yeah, well,
Nice.
we can make a deal.
Told you this guy was cool. The second camper shell Bill showed us was way cooler.
There it is, as I remember.
Wow. Oh, look at this. Totally cool.
Here's that
Oh,
little.
man. It's got that's the roof, dude.
Ian gets excited. And I'm like, what? Why are you excited? I'm not seeing it.
That's the thing. This is exactly like your drawing, man. Look at the little flipper details.
Yeah, for sure.
All those embossments we were talking about having to make, like the foam on the fenders, they're already here. It's perfect.
Yeah.
This is another perfect piece of trash we're gonna make into a show car. It's gonna be awesome. Sold, sir.
Regardless of Ian's plan of whatever the project is, Bill's just super pumped. It's gonna get out of here.
Bill's got a lot of cars, and he loves to talk about them to his guests. There's this one in particular that relates perfectly to our project. So this is a Falcon sedan delivery. Same vibe with the roof line as what we're doing with our project.
When I was absent, Ian cut this car right down in half, right down the middle.
We simply split the car in half lengthwise, widened it 8 inches, and put it on an entirely modern chassis. As you can see with that camper shell over there, it's the same vibe, you know? Basically, this style vehicle with the wild fiberglass fenders and everything else we got going on. I just can't wait to get back to the shop and show Johnny how this camper shell will transform into a panel wagon.
I don't know, man.
I mean, look at the roof from here. That's kind of your drawing, dude. So, I mean, it's wide, but we'll do it exactly like the Ranchero. Cut it right down the center.
It's a little, it looks like it's gonna be a lot of work to cut that thing down though, right? I mean, that's a lot of pieces.
So it's simple math, right? So we come in here real fast, right? I see your visor here. We're gonna cut this off. That's gone. This bottom part's gone. This is canted forward. It's sliced through the middle. It's narrowed. Simple, right?
Yeah, that seems really easy to do.
I'm gonna whack this thing into shape and mock it up on the car. Check this out.
And then suddenly, like the lines of the front of where he cut it and the back end start making sense. This might work.
king of the road.
Yeah, I'm totally seeing it now.
With the mock-up laid out, he was convinced. All we had to do was get funky and make this thing happen. This cartoon show car was made of fiberglass, so once I got all that laid out, there was one big sore spot. With so many nice curves throughout the car, the dashboard was just plain flat, very utilitarian. And that got me thinking. Very little sculpture, all business. We need to enhance. I know you thought we were done with that sterling, but there was still one piece that I just couldn't let go.
The only thing I really want on this thing is this top.
From the jump, that dashboard was dynamite. My challenge is to make this funky 70s vibe fiberglass dashboard fit in that car. So look at that. Freaking floating space pods on this awesome wraparound dashboard. The basis of my projects has always been found parts. So this next step is just in that same vein. I think everyone will agree it's a nice looking unit, but how are you gonna get it in there? As a great man once said, it just isn't even close to fitting. So, we're just gonna cut it up. Here we go. So you can see with a few minor pieces trimmed off, the sterling dashboard is a perfect fit. Look at that. Once I got the dash in, Johnny came back, this time with a full color drawing. So, I mean, just first thoughts. I love this white panel coming to the little spear right here.
Right.
So what if the white followed through and it came around and then kind of hooked up? It doesn't need to follow this line, but it came up and you had two jutting spears like that.
Ian immediately starts seeing a lot of lines that I wasn't really totally seeing, and he starts laying some pinstripe tape down, and immediately these really cool spear shapes started showing up. I just think that's his thought process. There's never not a way we can do this. Less is more.
And we're coloring outside the lines, which
sure,
you get
yeah.
extra points for. I'm always looking to bring out the best in whoever I'm working with, Creative opportunities are always right around the corner, You just got to get the flavor right and things start coming out.
What about doing white on the undersides of the kick-ups? Remember the old mud flaps?
Right.
Where it was like Yosemite Sam and the back off? We do that underneath, but not mud flaps.
Right, on the fenders.
On the fenders.
Yes. My friend Gilbert came by and did the font and silver leaf design, and this thing was ready to roll. It's exactly what it needed. Different than anything I've seen, it's perfect. This is a great example of my biggest passion is, working with an artist, creating some kind of a fantasy show car, and having another completed project. I mean, what's not to like about that? I can't wait till the next one. A while back, I did another project with Johnny Jalopy. It was a revisioning of my show car called the Space Junkie. In the middle of it all, I called in a surprise visit from a good friend who is hot rod royalty.
What is that?
Yeah, let me show you. I got a little treat. I invited somebody over.
So we pop around the corner and there's this really tricked out, flaked, crazy car with a dude in a top hat, and I'm like, oh my God.
I introduced Johnny to Dennis, Ed Roth's son.
I'm Dennis. I'm Little Daddy Roth. What's up, Johnny?
Very nice to meet you. I'm like, oh my God, it's Ed Roth's son. And he's like, I got goodies for you guys.
I asked Dennis to come by because he's got a line of paint products designed specifically for this type of car.
And as soon as the light hits that Roth flake, it's amazing.
I actually built that car to showcase the metal flake because I got a real education when I was 10 years old. Dad was flaking them, and I jumped right on the bandwagon. I've been flaking for 50 years.
See, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is the exact effect we need. So it's like multi-layers of different tones of flake with the candy over it. Our car needs this effect. It's unbelievable.
When he called me and said he wanted metal flake, dude, I said, dude, I will deliver it. You know what I mean? I'm coming up there right now because I want to see your car.
Come on.
Whoa,
So check
dude,
out what we're making.
Man, this is sick.
We pick up the boxes that go inside, and Dennis sees the car that we're working on, and he's just kind of blown away. You know?
No, dude, oh, the front ladder bars are insane, dude.
This is the guy who's seen it all. He grew up in his dad's shop, seeing all the creations, and he's kind of digging this.
The whole lightweight look, these things on the side, these fins right here are just mind-blowing. Everything that Ian does has that flavor about it. You know, I know Big Daddy's looking down on Ian right now and going, oh yeah, Ian, you know what's up.
It was great to see Dennis react to the car. It really motivated us to get super crazy with the paint.
Holy mackerel. Wow.
Hey, welcome
Hey,
back.
Ian, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Wow. What'd you do this time?
Later, my friend Jack came in for the upholstery. You know, he's been doing a lot of work for me, but he's worked with all the greats, Barris, Winfield, so many others. And somehow I made my way onto his A-list. I pretty much got the whole deal figured out. The only thing left is the interior. You know, Jack was digging it, so I pitched him my idea. So the whole thing is with the interior being so mellow and subtle, I want the fabric to pop, you know? I was thinking like that metal flake, blue old school glitter vinyl to complement these pinstripes. So when you're looking through the bubble, you'll see these two blue things broadcasting out, you know?
This blue metal flake, they don't make it anymore, from what I understand, so it'll be pretty hard to get.
That's, you know,
if we can find it. And blue metal flake vinyl?
well,
He likes metal flake, you know. He tried to metal flake my truck.
I know it's impossible to find. It's the hardest stuff in the world to get a hold of. So
Well,
I
wait a
got
minute.
this instead.
He was playing with me, see? Well, that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course.
I could pull a few strings, man.
Oh, man.
So you
Look at
think
this guy.
2 yards of this stuff will be enough?
Sure. Be
Check
plenty.
it out. Check it out in the sun.
Plenty
That's the
good.
thing. It's just like the
Put
frame.
the God light on it.
Jack's not a big fan of metal flake, so I just wanted to catch him off guard a bit.
He pulled one on me.
Had to pull a few strings to get back in the men's room, but they handed it through the wall, through the back window.
Well, it is a bold choice, and it's a lot of people are afraid to take chances because they think they're going to ruin their reputation or something like that. It's his personality. That's what he does. He likes to zap you with things.
I agree with Jack's assessment of myself 100%. I'm an antagonist. I'm the nice guy. My car's kind of edgy.
Working like Ian works is like you're doing it on the fly. You know what I mean? You plan it as you go. It's enjoyable.
Welcome to upholstery, full custom style.
That's right.
The proof is in the pudding. We got to put it in the car. So this one comes in.
You set the panel in, ran a couple screws in on both sides, and we looked at it. It even looked better. I was really surprised because I didn't think it would look that good. Here we go.
This is a perfect example. This build would not have been possible without a bunch of help from my friends. I guess the big reflection on everything that's happened thus far is don't try this at home. It doesn't make any sense at all. Go to school, get a diploma, do something different. This is only for the crazies.